allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Steve. Next thing on the agenda, we do have a public hearing, and I'll have the town clerk read the legal notice.
Take notice that a public hearing will be held by the town board of the town of Farmington on December 23rd, 2025 at 7 p.m. at the Farmington Town Hall, 1000 County Road 8, Farmington, New York. Consider a local law amending chapter 165, article 3, establishment and designation of districts, section 165-12, zoning map for the rezoning of land for the Farmington Meadows Incentive Zoning Project. Any resident of the town of Farmington shall be entitled to be heard on this matter at such public hearing. This by resolution of the town board of the town of Farmington.
Thank you, Michelle. Well, anybody at this time like to speak for or against? Ed, do you want to come up?
Actually, I'm representing the developer.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else or against? Anybody online? All right, staff, any comments?
This was reviewed again by the county planning board this past month. They recommended approval of the rezoning. It's consistent with the density, well, less than the density of what Whitestone previously had. And it is currently zoned PD planned development for a water park, which has been that way since 2008. There's really not a big pressing demand, I guess, for water parks. So we have a draft resolution tonight later for consideration on adopting a local law, which would set the next stage of the review process with the planning board for public meetings and hearings on the detailed drawings and design for the project.
Thanks, Ron. Anybody else, staff? All right, I'm going to close the public hearing. Next item on the agenda is the town board minutes of December 9th.
Second.
Push my Steve. Any corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Privilege of the floor, public concern? Anybody? Yes, right in the back. Yeah, it's better if you could go there, you're better to be heard.
My name is Sean Heyman. Dual roles here tonight. One is a town of Farmington resident. I would like to thank him for his hard work last couple decades for our town, along with the board members. So thank you guys very much for your hard work and dedication. That's my part as a town resident. Now as the Village of Victor Department of Public Works Director, I would like to give a special thank you again to Tim Ford. He's kind of guided me in the last year since I took over. He's been a very steady hand and very involved with the Ontario County Highway Association. So we would like to thank him for that. Also, I would like to give a very sincere thank you to Aaron in the Farmington Water and Sewer District. I don't know how many of you are aware of this. 2 weeks ago, we had a catastrophic failure in the Village of Victor with a sewer line. You guys and board guys, you guys need to know this. You have an outstanding crew in your water and sewer. They are top notch. They're as good as it gets. They came in and helped us, bailed us out. And both as the DPW director, that's great to have a relationship. And as a town resident, it's great to know that we have as good as you can get. I've done water and sewer work my whole life. They're as good as they get. So thank you very much for that, Aaron. That was greatly appreciated. We couldn't have done it without him, to be honest with you. And I have one more big thank you on behalf of the Village of Victor Town Village Board. Thank you to this board for the help with code enforcement the past 6 months. You guys are going through it now. It's a challenge. You guys bailed us out there too. So the Village of Victor is very thankful for what this board, those guys at that table are helping us do. And it's good to be good neighbors. And on behalf of the Village of Victor, anything we can do to help you guys out, this board members, guys sitting over there at that table, we're more than willing to help you. Aaron and I have a great relationship. Sean and I hope we create a great relationship. I think it's a good thing to be good neighbors with each other, help each other out. So that's all I can say, and thank you very much.
John, thank you for the great word comments there. They're really appreciated. Anybody else privileged with the floor or public concern? Okay. Reports of standing committees, Public Works.
Yeah, on the water and sewer side of things, they reported the heater in the belt press room has been repaired. Of course, now there's a bearing issue in the belt press room, so we fixed one problem. Something always pops back up. Sludge hauling continues. We have resolution on tonight for some spare parts for our UV system. Ongoing monitoring of pH at the plant. Just a lot ongoing coordination with contractors and vendors for next year's projects and purchases. Flow meter, they downloaded data last week, kept them in the same location. We're focusing on the Eastview Mall area during the holiday season. Sean mentioned, obviously they assisted the Village of Victor with a sewer issue in their system. Working through a heating issue in the influent building, still getting some quotes to repair that. And hauling some crusher run, just some rock to refill stock at their location. Did have a water main break over on Loomis Road that was taken care of, and actually the Village of Victor assisted them with some road cutting equipment for that. Brickyard Road tank is online and working well, but they continue, being that it's a new system, daily sampling, monitoring, documenting of that. Did have an issue on truck 2, an oil leak, but that's actually being sent back to the dealership under warranty. And their new cat skid steer should be available for delivery late January. And there's 2 other resolutions on tonight, other than the spare parts I mentioned already for the UV system. Highway and parks. Obviously, equipment maintenance, we talk about that every week. Plowing and salting roads with the weather, mixing salt with the high winds. They did have to clean up some trees. Been cleaning out floor drains and cleaning dump trucks between snow events. Also cleaning out drop inlets. Obviously, when it snows and then melts, they want to make sure all the drainage is working well in the town. Also had to do some sign repair. Parks, updating safety data sheets. Obviously, they're plowing, salting buildings, cleaning up summer equipment. Did have a new fence installed at Retention Park by the basketball court, and also a new backstop installed at Farmington Grove Park. On the building side of things, carpets have been cleaned, and they had to do a repair on a sprinkler pipe outside the highway garage. And they have 3 resolutions on tonight. One a new hire, one a new piece of equipment, and another to purchase some new picnic tables for next year. That's about it.
All right, thanks, Steve. On operations.
Town operations met this resolutions tonight, and we'll talk about them when they come up. Fish properties, we have not received any new information about the mounted solar farm, so that's still in limbo. The Brickyard tank update, it's near receiving a substantial completion determination now that the storage tank has been accepted by the New York State Department of Health, and it is online. Next year, they'll be beginning to work on dismantling the existing water tank, which is located on that site. The Farmington Fire Station 2 project will be coming, to the planning board next month for preliminary site plan application. The committee report is on the website. Hal Adams of the Ag Advisory Committee is here tonight. I think he'll be giving us some report. I have here. I would just like to take an opportunity tonight to extend my appreciation and give thanks to the residents of Farmington for their trust and endorsement of me for the past 20 years. And I'd like to thank the town staff for their work that they've done, the dedication. For the 20 years I'm here, it's always been about the town. There were no agendas. It was always about the town. This board, those people there, no matter who was serving. And I just would like to thank them and wish everybody next year success, and hopefully they will continue the work that we.
Reports of other town officials, myself, I only have two things. One, the Ontario County Board of Supervisors meets on Friday, January 2nd, believe it or not, for our organizational meeting. So if you're off on January 2nd, think about me because I'll get the county in the morning. Second thing, we, time to time, residents requests, we put a request in through the system for speed reduction of different roads in town. We got a report back Friday from the Department of Transportation. I'll read it, but it's typical denial. So addressed to the town clerk. We have completed our review of the Canandaigua Farmington Town Line Road between New Michigan Road and Birchwood Drive, Staplegate Drive, relative to the establishment of a lower speed limit. A review included investigation of roadway characteristics, analysis of vehicle speed, and review by the state police. During our review, a representative from this office visited the site to evaluate roadway characteristics and analyze vehicle speed with radar. We also met with the traffic supervisor from the New York State Police at this location to seek his input about lowering the speed limit. In consideration of the roadway characteristics, radar data, and the review by the state police, we determined a reduction of speed limit is not warranted at this time. Please note during our review, we know that there are not speed limit signs present on 55-mile-an-hour zone. And Matthew Orbeck, which Ron and I know Matthew very well, regional traffic engineer. We try. I think this is the fourth time since I've been on the town board and everyone's been identified. Where is highway parks?
The only thing that I have to report is, we have used, ordered, and received 900 ton of salt through the month of December with all the snow that we have gotten.
$53 and something. I'm clerk.
So I've officiated 5 weddings this month. Sarah and I have been taking some webinars on records management and tax collection. Sarah's also worked on records retention. She's got all the files that are in for destruction. Shreddit came and they took all the boxes for us, so that was great. And tomorrow I will be going to the county to pick up the bank side of the taxes. The county vendor will be mailing out the rest of the taxes on the 31st.
Yeah. So this is something new for town residents. Normally, all the town bill out of this office. The county has hired a printing agency and mail for your individual tickets. If you're not on a bank, will come directly from the printer.
Correct.
Keep an eye out, first week of January. They always hit. Thanks, Michelle. Water and sewer.
Yeah, I want to thank Sean for the kind words, and I want to thank the help that he offered us back in the spring. So we have an excellent relationship. We share services, personnel, equipment. It's nice to have somebody next door that I can call on when I need them. So I'm glad that we could be there for them. And I want to echo that we do have the best water and sewer department around. I have an excellent collection of qualified professionals. I'm very fortunate to lead the department. Steve mentioned we've been coordinating a lot of vendors and contractors for parts and services to perform some in-house work at our wastewater treatment plant. We've been very busy with water main breaks, one on County Road 8, County Road 41, Loomis Road, and a twin service leak repair on Emerson Road just in the last 2 weeks. We've pre-ordered all of our 2026 equipment and trucks. Spent quite a bit of time coordinating with the accountant on year-end budget items, budgetary transfers, encumbrances from 25 to 26. We have New York State fence on site, installing a new gate, some fencing to secure our material storage yard, an area that we need to get secured. So happy to have that happening. And we're also looking ahead to 2026 and beginning to scope out and prioritize our improvement projects at all of our facilities, the pump stations, wastewater treatment plant, and in the water system.
Thank you. Caden, building and zoning.
So a couple numbers from the month of November. The month of November, we completed 98 inspections. We had one fire call for a water main break, a private water main break. There was 5 fire inspections completed. Throughout this month, we've been looking through town code to see if there's anything that needed to be updated or just kind of going over rules and regulations. We had a influx of new house permits as the code cycle changed at the end of this year. So we had some builders that tried to get into the 2020 code before we made the switch. We've been training staff, getting our zoning officer up to speed on doing some inspections. And lastly, we lost John Hargather for the winter. He went to Florida. We're expecting him back in April.
Florida and then Texas.
Florida, then Texas.
Life. All right, thanks. Planning board, Ed.
Certainly, next meeting will be January 7th, 7 o'clock in this room. On the agenda is, Canandaigua Development Company LLC about the subdivision, preliminary subdivision plat for the homes, on 96, Boston Racetrack, and then we've got a preliminary 2-lot subdivision, determination of completeness. We got that one going. We're gonna look at and hopefully approve the 2026 planning board rules and procedures. We're gonna bless the 2026 middle dates. And assuming we get everything together, a final letter of credit for Country Max. And I believe that's it.
All right, thanks, Ed. Director of Planning and Development, Ron.
Well, first of all, Rustin Paving is going to be expanding, and they'll be coming in to talk to us about their plans for building additions and additional on-site parking. The Phase 2 TAP grant application is due March 15th. We will be submitting a Phase 2 grant consistent with the adopted master plan for sidewalks, trails, and bike lanes. The Wood Drive Bridge, I can say this. The Wood Drive Bridge has received all of the state and county approvals. They're waiting now for the approval to go out to bid. It's on schedule that they go out to bid here in January, review them in February, award in March, and we start construction and hopefully have that project completed this fall. And finally, at the last town board meeting, the town board approved the open space index. That index is now being filed with the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, both in Albany and Avon, the regional office. I needed to call the regional office to get the email addresses for the names of the individuals in Albany and Avon. And I ended up talking to this young lady whose name was Sonia Failing. And for those that don't know, she's a member of our Environmental Conservation Board here in Farmington. So it's always nice to have somebody in the regional office. That's it.
Thanks, Ron. Town engineer, Bill.
Just a few things. Steve and Mike already mentioned Brickyard Road tank now is online. We are monitoring it essentially for its performance and how we expected that to operate. And it appears so far that it's doing what we expected. So that's good news. That tank should help stabilize the pressures throughout the town. And that's what we're seeing so far. So Cranberry Drive is complete with the exception of some minor rework on the top that will be scheduled in the spring. And then we are undergoing, the beginning of the design for the next phase of County Road 8 water main. So our first step there will be survey when weather cooperates and we can get out there to get survey for that section. So that's all that I have.
And then we did reach out to RG&E again today to find out when they're gonna allow the lights to be turned on in Cranberry Drive. Sooner than later, hopefully.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bill. No assessor tonight, no historian. Mark, recreation.
Yes, just a update. We, had our annual, Christmas party on December 5th, another success, really rounded out a successful recreation, year for 2025. Looking forward to 2026, a couple of dates, early dates, our Easter egg hunt will be, March 28th. Hopefully there won't be any snow then. And then our recreation program will run from June 29th to August 7th of 2026.
And just for the group, for the other people who hadn't been here, but your summer rec was pretty successful also.
Yeah, we had a great, summer recreation, season, numbers were up, probably 3 or 4% over the year before. So as always, it's very strong, attendance, for the town of Farmington. It's been great, always been, moving upwards.
Thanks, Mark. Hal, Agricultural Advisory Committee.
Yeah, we submitted the, annual committee report last week. I don't see it in the list here. Maybe I missed it, but it's in there. There will be, I anticipate, 2 openings on our committee for 2026. One of which is due to the retirement of our last charter member, John Marvin, who has served on the Ag Committee since its inception in the 90s, has said he's gonna step aside. And lastly, I'd just like to thank Councilman Casale for the time he spent being the board liaison to our committee. It's been a pleasure to work with him.
Thank you, Hal. I don't have an in for finance this time around. Communications are on file, reports and minutes are on file. And we'll go to resolution. Resolution is more sympathy for the Eddy family. I would like to read it. The town board is deeply saddened to learn the passing of Pat Eddy on December 17th, 2025. And whereas Pat was a longtime resident with the town of Farmington, as well as serving as a part-time clerk in various departments for 15 years, now therefore be it resolved, the town board adopts this resolution, extending sincere sympathy to the Eddy family and spreading their memory upon the minutes of this board in this meeting. Be it further resolved, the town clerk forward a copy of this resolution to Pat's daughter, Karen Dunn, and the Bowerman Road address. All in favor?
Aye.
Kind of quiet. She's not there in the office. Number 2 is a resolution authorizing the town supervisor to sign a contract with Williamson Law Book for a 2026. The cost not to exceed $1,581.
So move. Second.
By Nate, second by Mike. Any questions on that one? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3, confirming resolution authorizing the town supervisor to electronically sign the annual contracts for the dog control services for 2026, and that's with Ontario County.
Second.
By Ron, second by Steve. Any questions? $40,000. Give or take a few. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 4th resolution authorizing employees to carry over vacation time into 2026.
So moved. Second.
First by Mike, second by Nate. Tina, Jordan, Aaron, and Karen with a maximum of 5 days. All in favor?
Aye.
5 is resolution authorizing vacation time buyout for Aaron Smith. By Steve, second by Ron. Again, it's only for 2 vacation days. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 6, resolution recall and amend resolution 400 of 2025, authorizing the water and sewer superintendent to purchase a trailer from Alta Equipment Company, a local Globe Manufacturing Incorporated dealer at a cost not to exceed $41,860.56. Motion by Ron, second by Steve. And the dollar amount didn't change here, just the dealership name changed from the manufacturer to the local dealer. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 7, resolution authorizing the highway superintendent to purchase a line laser and 2 mech guns and a line driver for the Parks Department to strike baseball and soccer fields, crosswalks, and stop lines and parking lots at a cost not to exceed $17,144.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mike, second by Nate. Again, these are budgeted items. And when you get up in that dollar amount, then they get multiple quotes, 3 quotes. All in favor?
Aye.
8th, resolution documenting the irrevocable letter of credit for the town of Farmington by Federal Home Loan Bank of $1 million at the request of Lions National Bank. Push by Nate, second by Ron. Any questions on that? This is the first time they've asked for it, so kind of new to us. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
9's resolution authorizing the highway superintendent to purchase 12 aluminum tables for the town's parks at a cost not to exceed $12,756.53.
Second.
Steve, second by Mike. Again, the item. Read it all. Pardon? Yeah. No more paint. More painting, no more fixing wood, it's can't carve into the wood. Ones that, Beaver Creek Park have held up. Pretty good. Nice, yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
That is a resolution authorizing the town board to approve a closeout paperwork for the Route 332 water main. Motion by Ron, second Steve. Glad to see how water main project. Zeroed out the funds. All in favor?
Aye.
11, resolution authorizing the purchase of UV disinfection system parts at a cost not to exceed $19,987.96,
So moved.
plus any additional shipping.
So moved.
Second.
By Mike, second by Nate. Questions there? Biggest one of them is $7,436. All in favor?
Aye.
Wells resolution approving change orders for the Brickyard Road tank, change order 03, EC 01, and the general contractor, the second change order.
So moved.
And Nate, second by Ron. Most of those change orders are extending substantial completion time to February and final payment at the end of February. All in favor?
Aye.
13 is a resolution authorizing the final 2025 budget amendments in several funds.
So moved.
This is a year-end budget, balance the budget with the known bills that we have coming in between now and the end of the year. Parks master plan, data processing equipment, parks utilities, building permits, permanent general road repair personnel fund, machinery personnel, snow removal overtime, and a whole second page of street light and water and sewer budget changes. Any questions on those? All in favor?
Aye.
14 is a resolution authorizing the purchase of a pallet racking to be installed in the Brickyard Road tank at a cost not to exceed $7,354.14 plus any additional shipping.
So moved.
Motion by Nate, second by Steve. Any questions on that? All in favor?
Aye.
15, resolution waiving the Mertensia Lodge reservation fees for the Cobblestone Arts Center Day Hab services to adults with disabilities on multiple dates in 2026.
So moved.
Motion by Mike, second by Ron. This is something that we will own. And, these dates are January, February. All in favor?
Aye.
16, resolution authorizing the town supervisor to sign an intermunicipal agreement regarding cooperation compliance with the federal phase 2 stormwater regulation in Ontario and Wayne counties.
So moved.
Motion by Nate, second by Steve. Again, the dollar amount didn't change for us, but the municipal agreement was changed, when the village, I think, of the Victor amount changed. All in favor?
Aye.
17 is a resolution authorizing the appointment of Jeff Ransco as our acting parks maintenance supervisor at the rate of $80,000 a year, effective with payroll 1. Motion by Ron, second by Steve. Just for the public's notice, since we're getting a new highway superintendent, the town board thought this is the time to split the highway from the Parks Department. Parks Department has 7 employees now, and it's time to have its own reporting agency, own funding. It's always been rolled up under the highway.
Used to, a while back, it used to.
Used
Used to be the same.
No, it was a separate.
Yeah, Louis Marks.
Yeah.
Yeah, years ago. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Louis, that was before my time. 18, okay. Resolution authorizing acceptance of part 2 and 3 of the full environmental assessment forms for making a determination of non-significance on the provisions of Article 8, New York State Environmental Conservation Law on the action identified in the adoption of local law number 10, the proposed Farmington Meadows incentive zoning project, hereunto referred to as an action.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mike, second by Nate. Any comments on that? Again, it's environmental review is that just parts 2 and 3. How many pages was one?
15. And then there was attachments to that, which included a 490-page
Yeah.
traffic study.
What I wanted to get is 190 pages for traffic. All right, any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. One nay. 19, resolution closing the public hearing, adopting, which I already did, adopting the filing of local law 10, authorizing the town clerk in accordance with provisions in chapter 165, article 3, establishment and designation of districts, section 165.12C, zoning map, and chapter 165, article 4, section 34.1, incentive zoning district, to amend the town's official zoning map for delineating the rezoning of lands and tax map accounts 41.07-1-28.210 and 41.00-1-28.300 from PD Plan Development, Glacier Lakes Water Park Project, and MTOE DOD Major Thoroughfare Overlay District to incentive zoning, Farmington Meadows incentive zoning project, State Route 332 and County Road 41, and MTOD Major Thoroughfare Overlay District, and directing the town clerk to formally amend a portion of the town's official zoning map at the appropriate time specified in chapter 165, article 4, section 34.1.0 in the town of Farmington.
Second.
Again, any comments, questions there?
No, I mean, I didn't support White Stone at this location. I think this is a better project. Doesn't have my. One more need vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll pay the bills. Abstract number 24, pay the bills. General fund, $156,837.65. Highway fund, $60,502.26. Granbury dry water line, $56,792.19. Granbury Drive Road, $389,459.61. Route 332-96 water line, $16,225. Sidewalk capital project, $136,387.07. Water tank repair, $95,726.95. Storm drainage, $2,982. Lighting district, $3,681.40. Sewer district, $66,354.24. Water district, $35,701. And payroll deductions, $10,386.96. For total abstract is $1,031,036.33. Motion and a second, please. So moved. Second. Steve, second by Mike. Any comments, suggestions, questions, extensions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, pass. No training under $100 tonight, and waiver of the rules. Any objections to the waiver of the rules? Read nothing. First one is resolution approving the 283 agreement for the expenditure of highway funds in 2026.
Second.
Ron, second by Mike. Again, this is an annual agreement with the town board and the highway superintendent. And it lists road by road, the estimated dollar amount spent in 26 on road projects, personnel costs, overtime, just about everything. And that matches up. Janine and I and the clerk over in the highway department all look at that and make sure it matches up to the numbers that are in the 2026 budget. And we'll need signatures tonight. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Pass this along, and it's gotta be Tim that signs it. Can't be Sean, and Sean doesn't take effect till 1 January. It's just. You sign. And we'll catch you at the end for a signature. All right, the next resolution is an appreciation and recognition for Tim Ford, our highway superintendent.
All.
Whereas Tim Ford has served as mechanic in the highway department for 31 years and assumed the role of the highway superintendent on February 1st, 2022. And whereas Tim Ford has submitted his retirement effective December 31st, 2025. Whereas Tim Ford has made a valuable contribution during his service in the highway department, now therefore be resolved. The town board, town of Farmington hereby expresses its appreciation and gratitude for Tim's service in the highway department as a mechanic and the additional years in the highway superintendent. Last 3 years. Be further resolved that Tim Ford receive recognition for his efforts to this resolution, and be it finally resolved, town board directs the town clerk forward a certified copy of this resolution to Tim Ford at his home address and the home of our vehicle. In favor?
Aye.
Aye. And station, thank you. The next resolution, appreciation and recognition for Councilman Michael Casale. Michael Casale has served as councilman of the Farmington Town Board for 20 years. Whereas Michael Casale is appointed as councilman of the Farmington Town Board, expires December 31st, 2025. Whereas Michael's made a valuable contribution during his service as councilman of the Farmington Town Board, In addition to his contributions in various committees throughout the years, such as financial management, human resources, personnel, public safety, town operations, liaison with the Victor Farmington Volunteer Ambulance and the Farmington, Manchester and Shortsville Fire Departments and the Agriculture Advisory Committee. Therefore, be resolved, the town board, town of Farmington hereby expresses its appreciation and gratitude to Mike for his service as councilman on the town board for the last 20 years. Be further resolved that Mike Sal receives recognition for his efforts to this resolution. Be finally resolved, the town board directs that the town clerk record a certified copy of this resolution to Mike and his home address. Motion. Motion all.
Saying the next one, then.
All in favor? Aye. Congratulations, Mike. Thank you. And. Next one, resolution creation and definition for Councilman Stephen Holt. Whereas Stephen Holtz has served as a councilman on the Farmington Town Board for 17 years. Whereas Stephen Holtz was appointed as councilman on the Farmington Town Board December 10th and December 31st, 2025. Whereas Stephen has made valuable contributions during the service of the councilman on the Farmington Town Board, in addition to the state committees, throughout the years, such as financial management, human resources, personnel, public works, public safety, town operations, 2021 Farmington plan update, and the one he enjoyed the most, the special assignment for the swap shop operation. And also obviously served as my deputy. Dear resolved, the town board on the Farmington hereby expresses its appreciation and gratitude for the service of councilman the Farmington Town Board the last 17 years, and be it further resolved, Stephen receive recognition for his efforts through this resolution, and be it finally resolved, the town board directs the town clerk to forward a certified copy of this resolution to Stephen at his home residence. You do a motion?
Yeah,
All right, all in favor? Aye. Congratulations. Okay, now what we're gonna do here is we're going to adjourn the regular meeting, so if anybody wants to leave, they can. And then we have a swearing in ceremony. Shel Finley and myself will be sworn in by the group here. And Matt Guilfoyle, Aubrey, and Sean Murphy will be sworn in by the council. Thank you, everybody, for attending. I'd like to see this motion heard. Secondly, any all in favor for adjournment? Aye. Next board meeting is the organizational meeting on Tuesday, January 13th at 6 p.m., followed by the regular meeting at 7.
Yeah, leave it up. Yeah. Here.
I was giving you a cramp. Thank you. Perfect. You gonna be knighted? Oh, this is gonna be fun. Yeah. You too.
Yeah. See you, Aaron.
What?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I might see it tomorrow.
Oh.
In there?
Good for you.
Okay, very honored to that by these two folks for swear to win. Known both of them for a very long time. Proud to have served in the Army alongside Colonel. Whatever your name is. Yeah. How long for you? Oh, yeah, right. Oh, well, but I think
It's still been on. Known this guy there a very long time. Very very dedicated to our community. Very focused. His skill sets is going into service and work by all leaders in town. Detail oriented, gets things done, and done well. I really appreciate that. I'm also very glad you ran for another term. And put that started, so I'll raise you right hand. Yeah, after me, I, state your name. I, here you speak. Do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. I will support the Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of the State of New York. And the Constitution of the State of New York. And I will faithfully discharge the duties. I'll faithfully discharge the duties. Of the office of town supervisor for the town of Farmington. The office of town supervisor for the town of Farmington. To the very best of my ability. To the very best of my ability. So help me God. Help me God. Congratulations. Thank you.
You know that.
Another person I've known, I want to say for decades now, decades. There isn't a more dedicated citizen down in Farmington than this young lady right here. All the time she's put in as town clerk. She was really active in the Farmington Volunteer Fire Department. You're my heart, very dedicated to that organization, to the cemetery committee, and I'm sure there are others that I don't have in my head listed right now. It's so pleasant to have her taking another term in office. Let's get that. Okay. You repeat after me. I state your full name.
I, Shelby Finley,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of town clerk, town of Farmington,
yeah,
very best of my ability,
very best of my ability.
so help me God.
I did not.
I have done this a few times. Yeah.
That's right. All right, so we're just gonna do these first, so, all right. I'm serious. Okay. So. Okay. Solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of
to the person of
town councilman
councilman,
according to the best of my ability.
best of my ability.
Also do have their certificate of election from the Board of Elections. You know?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Congratulations. I guess, Sean, you're next. Aubrey's gonna go last. I think he's nervous. I state your name.
I, Sean Murphy,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of
faithfully discharge the duties of
highway superintendent
highway superintendent.
according to the best of my ability. It has to be you now. the cat. That's it.
All right, thank you, everybody, for coming. The holiday season upon us.